So today we're working with Beak, what a cute name, a gold-capped conure who apparently hates Liliana's boyfriend, Jonathan. But we're gonna prove and shatter all of those beliefs today because really it was just a difference in body language, and it was the body language of the human this time. So we started off just wanting to see what the interactions look like between Liliana and Beak, as well as Jonathan and Beak. And you're gonna notice a pretty huge difference. The main difference is that Liliana has clear, clean communication. She can almost figure out what her bird is gonna do before the bird does it. Whereas Jonathan is just kind of being thrown into the deep end. He's trying to manage a target stick, a clicker, treats, and he's way slower paced than Beak.
Beak, are you ready? Can you touch? Good job. Touch. Good boy. Can you touch? Come back over here. Good job, puppy.
That looks good. You guys notice the body language is a lot less what I would say is excited, right? There's a lot less enthusiasm behind it, which is okay.
Beak, can you go branch?
So I'll start with a target because that's usually pretty easy to start
Touch.
with. Awesome.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, so the first thing before you do the next rep, make sure the target isn't in the treat hand, because this you're offering a treat and you're cueing the target at the same time.
Okay.
And so that can make your communication unclear, which can build frustration and lead to bites.
Beak, can you touch? Good job.
Oh, doing it again.
Okay, so now before the next rep, clicker timing is really critical.
Right.
So where you're clicking the clicker, think of it as you're taking a photo of a baseball game. And that click is you taking a snapshot of the ball hitting the bat, or the bat hitting the ball. And if you click late and you get this printout, did the batter strike out or hit a home run? We don't know, right? We want to click for that exact moment,
Right.
because this bird throws so much at us so quickly, we really need to have that clicker timing perfect so we can get more perfection out of every repetition, which what that translates to is crystal clear communication. If we have crystal clear communication, we're going to help keep him from becoming super frustrated,
Right.
which will make it so your relationship with him improves.
Gotcha. Beak, can you touch? Good job. Treat. There you go.
So go ahead and just pay him there.
Good job, puppy. He's so ready. Aren't you so ready? Oh, okay. He sneezes when he's frustrated, I've learned. Because otherwise I can't figure out why he's sneezing. I've taken him to the vet and they're like, he's fine.
So rather than saying he sneezes when he's frustrated, I would encourage you to think of whatever you saw that you said frustrated was and label it without a human emotion.
Gotcha. Good boy.
Nice.
Good boy. Can you say hi? Say hi. Good job. Bye-bye is the same thing. Say bye-bye. Good job.
The screaming's not cute. I was like, I didn't hear it, bye.
He's just so cute.
Oh.
Station. Good boy, Beak.
Cool. Can I see any of this with you, Jonathan?
Oh boy.
And it's your session, so if you'll be bitten, like, tell me what we need to do differently. And Jonathan, if you can just step in before we lose patience, go into a target or a wave or something.
Did a little wave. He's doing a little turn.
Good job, Beak. There you go. He's doing even better than expected. Good job.
Was that a wave?
Yes. I had to click for that.
So remember that clicker timing thing.
Yeah, I'm really bad at that, actually.
Can she click for you?
I can click for you. Hi.
Sorry, that probably looked like a flight cue.
Station. Good job.
All right.
Where's
Deliver
my
a
treat?
Treat?
Where's my
sorry,
treat?
Sorry. Oh my god. Okay.
Stop cueing. Now try.
What's your wave cue?
The wave cue is...
It's a little bit. Oh god, okay. He
He did, but it's okay.
Not that hard, actually.
He's doing
Okay, so
better.
We're losing patience.
let's do the wave and treat.
Good job.
Sorry. I forgot I had clicker privileges.
Station?
Station.
And treat there.
Good job.
Cool, and then Jonathan, go ahead and step back and we'll switch spots. It's, again, going back to the photo in a baseball game, like, there's no sense of taking a picture later, you just gotta delete it. right? So if they did the right behavior, treat it. But if you screwed up and you didn't click the right time, don't just click late, because if I'm trying to get this and I missed it, and now he's like angry and about to bite, and I click there because it took me too long, now I'm telling him I want you to be angry and be about to bite.
Right.
You don't want to take a picture of that. Think of capturing the emotion involved with the behavior they're learning. So when we're doing targeting, we want a gentle touch. We don't want to chomp on the stick.
Correct.
Because he's so much slower than Beak, Beak is getting real frustrated with Jonathan and eventually ended up flying to him just to bite him to show him how frustrating he really was. So the key point here is that Jonathan didn't get bit because Beak hates him. There was none of that. We never saw Beak look at Jonathan and be like, screw you, buddy, I don't like you. It was more about the pace. Jonathan just wasn't going at Beak's pace, which led to a lot of mistakes, which led to frustration. And the only way that birds tend to know how to tell us that they are really frustrated and done with us tends to be through biting. So the main takeaway here is don't bite off more than you can chew, literally. So we had Jonathan do less repetitions and be more focused on the session itself. We ended up having Liliana click for him and just eliminating the clicker early on, and we ended up dwindling it down to just targeting. I'm gonna show you the difference between when Liliana cued some different tricks and Jonathan cued those same tricks but different cues. This was a huge part in building a lot of frustration with poor little Beak. He was getting so mad because he didn't understand what Jonathan was asking because he hadn't been taught the cues properly. It was something that Liliana eventually was like, I've been telling you, but those cues looked so different. So remember that we all have a training accent. How we cue the bird is gonna look and feel a little bit different, which means the birds can still understand us, but it might take a little bit more time. So really try to perfect your cues before giving them to the bird.
So warm up here, see if he's like willing to work with me, which appears to be.
Before we had Jonathan actually jump into a lot of the training, Dave was able to execute it really beautifully and clearly, and Beak was completely receptive to him because he did go at his pace and everything was clean and clear. Dave didn't attempt to give cues that might otherwise be confusing because he hadn't properly learned them yet. And so it just kept this training session and the expectation understood between both the bird and the human. And then he was able to pass it off to Jonathan. It's really important when teaching people how to interact with your bird that you show them not only what it looks like, but what it doesn't look like. It's so important in the learning process for them to be able to get it right.
Okay, so that's all I'm gonna be able to push in there. But could you see how there was no moment where he built frustration? Right? There was a little confusion. He was offering things instead of going in the cage, but there was never a moment where he's like, dude, what the hell are you asking, right? So what did I do? I eliminated variables. I don't know your cues, I'm going to have an accent. And so I did something that has no accent, and that's a target stick, which I'm intentionally hiding because he flew back here and he knows that I'm one of the trainers. Okay, he's offering me stuff, so I need to react. And I was too late on the click, so I'm not giving a click.
Cool that he's looking good now.
Had I not responded to that, there's a chance he could have come down and tried to bite me. So you can see, as Jamie's pointing out, like I'm going to struggle to get him in here. Could I work through it? Probably, but we lose the power of the treats as the day goes on.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling with the training accent, pick something that doesn't have an accent. You could see that I ran out of little treats, and so I gave him a full pine nut, so I had time to break another one in half. Instead of sitting here after he's done the right behavior trying to break one in half, and now he sees that I just ripped a $100 bill in half. I'm only giving him a 50. Now he's really pissed off. I took the time when he was busy to make small change and then pay him with that later. So, can you see the difference in like,
Yeah.
I don't know this bird, but I trust and know through confidence that he's gonna touch the stick and how to give the treat. You just have to have a little bit more of a prediction of, here's what I want to achieve, here's how I'm gonna measure success. I didn't quite get him in the cage at the end. I could have if I had breakfast, which I could have put the whole bowl in and he'd go in and I'd be able to close it.
Yeah.
What I'd love to see is one warm-up target in the cage, just to make sure that your bird's still willing. Then, assuming that's the case, I'll have you go ahead and open up the cage and then target your bird to here. And then when it lands, you can click for when it lands and we'll give a treat. And then do just 3 targets, moving from one side to the other to touch the stick.
Okay.
Each one will get a treat. And then I'll have you step in after 3 targets to go ahead and offer food and a treat for step up and then back in the cage.
Okay.
Cool, sound good?
Sound good.
Any questions?
I think I got it.
Okay.
One of the things I loved about the session today is that everybody took the time to warm up the bird inside the cage. This is a great tactic to make sure you should even take the bird out of the cage to work, is by making sure they're receptive within the cage. And then the cool thing was is that everything was permission-based training from there. We simply target flight trained this bird to go to its station, which was to the T-stand to train, and then back to its cage again. This is such a great way to have your bird come in and out of the cage without force.
All right, Beak. Can you touch?
Nice
Good
timing.
job.
Did you get it?
You did get it.
Okay.
So remember your target hand and your I'm doing something else hand.
Nice.
Touch. Good
Nice.
job.
So make sure you don't put the wand up until you're, yep,
Can you
right
touch?
there.
Touch.
Right, so we'll count that as the first one. Cool. So just keep the cue down for a second, and then we're gonna put it up as soon as you need attention.
Touch.
There, yep. That'll be the second one. Let's actually do, yep, go ahead and bring him back.
He's not
See it
ready.
eating.
Bring back.
Touch. Oh, he bit that one. Should I still feed?
Nope, just get a treat. Better hurry. Awesome. And then this will be the final target. Go ahead and put it over.
Touch. Touch.
Still eating.
Remember your treat hand
And
and that
then go ahead
wand
and pick
hand.
them up and put them away with a treat. So that's honestly the length of your sessions for now. I wouldn't go beyond that. You could see where if you didn't keep up with the pace, it wasn't going to go great.
Frustration, yeah.
Right? Like you saw that he bit the stick harder. It just means like, okay, we're pushing that. We're almost redlining,
Right.
and we want to stop before we get to that point.
And then also not going too far in advance because I'm kind of trying to compensate for the fact that I've been slow, and that just means that I'm presenting the stick too soon. So
Yeah. And it looks like he was offering behaviors right before he was done eating. He was like, I'm going to fly over here, finish eating.
Right.
So it's almost like we lost his attention slightly.
For a little bit.
Yeah. So where you compensated and you gave it to a little earlier here almost was necessary based on the previous repetition.
Focus.
So you'll just have to kind of balance that and see.
So what do you guys feel like was your biggest takeaway today?
Do not confuse your own thoughts with what is reality. Like, I can't say he loves this because I don't know that. I'll never know that. I can only say, like, he's heightened when this happens, and that is what happens. And those are my biggest takeaways.
That's awesome. What about you, Jonathan?
I think biggest takeaway is Beak is much more ready to engage with me than I thought, and I think it just comes down to my ability to be a better trainer because he's very used to a kind of an all-star trainer and I'm an amateur, so it's going to be coming down to better timings with the clicker and better engagement with him, staying focused and engaging with him as well.
I love that. I think Liliana and Jonathan have a lot to go home with today. Some of the tips that I gave them was for Jonathan to just focus on changing one thing at a time. For him, being new to birds, this is all very overwhelming, and going into a session with all these different things he has to think about and this long list of things he has to work on to be as good as Liliana is just a recipe for disaster sometimes. We can be our own worst enemy. So something I told him was go into each session with just one top priority, whether it's presenting the stick properly, if it's clicking at the right time, if it's going at the bird's pace, if it's only asking for targeting versus all these different tricks, whatever your number one priority thing is that you need to work on, just focus on one versus going in with a whole long list and only being able to fall short. Parrots are the third most popular pet in the entire world, yet the number one most rehomed. If you're interested in joining our mission of saving parrots one person at a time, visit BirdTricks.com to learn more about our parrot training courses, organic bird food, all-natural parrot toy line, and much, much more. When we know better, we do better. It's through you that we can help people offer only the best quality products to their parrots, along with the knowledge they need to live in harmony with their birds through permission-based training. Visit BirdTricks.com today to learn more.